Thank you for coming on. It really means a lot to me. I just, want to remind myself and all of us, how we started doing this and why we're doing it. And, we started doing it when, we all started getting locked down with COVID. Some states have opened up in our country and in your country. Cloudy Seattle. I'm sorry, I feel your pain. My brother moved out there from New Jersey and they kept coming back here, and his wife, all she would do is sit in the sun. She just wanted to sit in the sun. So she definitely was a sunaholic for sure when she was here. Adriana, thank you, from Romania. What time is it there? We're about 8 hours difference or so. It's hard for me to keep track. You'll never believe it, but last night, I like come alive late at night. So last night, I'm up until 3 a.m., and which doesn't work really well with me because I'm what you call a spoonie. Spoonie is, I used to think when somebody takes a lot of medicine. It's not. It's just that the Meniere's disease saps a lot of my energy, the amount of energy that I have. And so at one point, somebody measured that. They called it spoons. And I kind of used up my spoons for today, like at 3 a.m. in the morning. I used from midnight to 3 a.m. So I don't have a lot of spoons here. So you have to forgive me for rambling. But you're a spoonie? Yeah. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing. I'm just going to say that anybody that kind of has a chronic fatigue thing, or it might even be undiagnosed, but you have ebbs and flows in your energy. Like my husband and my son Jake are, they're very even, and they just run. Like with me, I'm like a sprinter, I can go fast, or I got to lay down on my face. That I go fast and I lay down. And I haven't yet figured out exactly how to pace myself. And I used to be a runner, and I really enjoyed that. And I could do long distance running, and I could do short sprints as well. And the thing about the short sprints, or the 5K races and stuff, is that it would take me 3 miles to break into a sweat. So I was better with 10Ks and stuff. But, and then half marathons were kind of cool too. But now, yeah, I kind of ran a marathon yesterday. So thanks from Amy. Thank you. Thank you for being on. So anyway, I think because Betty's here and I want her to get on with her day, I'm going to have her pop on and tell you about the next thing we're going to do together. And you're all invited. So if she's there, I'm going to grab her. She's coming. She's coming.
Hello.
Hi, Betty. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
What time is it? About 11:30 or so?
Yeah, 11:10.
Okay.
Still morning hours.
I know. But you were up early this morning.
I was, you know what? Well, we've got two things that were announced. I have two things announcing today. One is you and I are going to talk about in a moment here. And the other one is that I've got a new Paint with Betty session happening at the end of this month. And I just sent out an email to my list. So I was up early trying to pull it all together, finalize it so that I can send my email. So I got that done.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You get more done in an hour than I get done in a day.
So far, I'm with you. I'm wiped out because I've been at it since 6:30 this morning, and I normally do not get out of bed till 8 or later. So, yeah, my day's gone.
When you interrupt like your clock like that, if you start to do that every day, like when the kids will go back to school and stuff, it took a while for us all, but then we kind of got on that time schedule and it was okay. But when you're
Yes.
first adjusting to it, or even when you have daylight savings time, it's like a dragon through the first week. We really have inner clocks.
Yep. I think I'll be going to bed early tonight, so that's okay. I got a lot done, so I'm very, very pleased to finish the week this way.
Great, great.
Yeah. So you and I have a special announcement to make that that I posted about. So some folks may have already seen it because we've already got like about 25 people signed up so far. So
great.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
So
Do you want to explain to them about it? Because we're gonna paint together, but rather than do it here on IG, we're gonna move it to Zoom. It's gonna be free, and Betty will tell you about. It's gonna be next Saturday, and she'll tell you about how you connect with the links and stuff.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna do, like you and I have done already, which is painting. But we painted kind of small that the last time. So we're gonna go larger now. We're gonna be maybe standing up. I'm definitely gonna be standing up, and I'm gonna have my art up on the wall. I'm gonna still be working on paper because I really love working on paper. But I'm gonna go 18 by 24. So working larger. And I don't know, you and I haven't talked about whether or not we're going to come up with a palette colors again, or if we're just going to go for it. So we can still talk about that and see what we want to do there.
Yeah, my sense is that we go for it because I mean we can make a suggestion individually, just for the people who want to paint along with us. But
Yep.
I think it would be fun. You're saying that we might have to go back and forth, like looking at you for a while, then looking at me, or will the screen split?
Yeah, so I'm still kind of challenged in that regard. I think that we are probably going to go back and forth on the screens, and I can toggle between the two of us. So, we can look at doing that. The other thing that triggers the screen in Zoom to appear larger is when a person is talking, then their screen will come up. So as long as we have everybody else muted and it's just you and I talking, then when you talk, everybody will be able to see you. And when I talk, then the screen will change to me. So we'll talk about that when we get on Zoom and try to get everybody to mute their own so that they're not interrupting when we're talking. But it may be a little challenging as any kind of video thing is these days, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be answering questions for folks, kind of just showing what we're doing, and I'm looking forward to it. So I've got the link available. I've already got it posted on my link in bio on Instagram, and I know you've been busy this morning too, but I know you're going to be posting it as well. So yes. It doesn't matter where you go to sign up. It takes you to the same page. So if you guys want to join us, I encourage you to check out the link, sign up, and you'll get the information that way.
Okay, so we both have a link tree on our bios, and we're both going to have the link available on our separate bios, or so they can go either to mine or to yours, and just click on our link and then look for, what are we going to call it? Art Jam?
Yeah, I think I called it what we've been calling it, Pat and Betty 2-for-1 Art Jam, Paint Jam, or something like that.
All right, just so that I kind of get the same thing on my link tree.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take a look at mine, and then it's also in my stories. So if you just go to my stories, you can swipe up and it'll take you right to the registration as well.
Okay, that's a good idea. I can do that too. All right, I'm really excited. Maybe we'll talk. Maybe we'll do the same color if we go back and forth, because that would kind of be fun too. But this time you pick the colors.
Cool. I'll pick colors. That sounds great.
Okay.
All right, you guys. So I hope you guys all have fun with Pat. I got to get going. I've got a few more few more things to do here in my office, and then it's grocery shopping day because we're pretty much out of everything. So I got to head out.
I hear you. Okay. Happy grocery shopping.
Thanks. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Have fun with Pat. And Pat, I will you soon. Get some rest.
Okay. No, the paint together is free. But Betty's going to be announcing a Paint with Betty that is going to be a workshop.
Yes.
And I have some announcements too that I'm going to be pulling up out of my pocket that you guys might be interested in too.
Yes.
But
yes.
either way, they're going to be really good offerings, and they're going to be very, very doable, and you're going to get a lot of meat. And we know, because we're trying to tailor things that people are able to do now, considering the market and the whole 9 yards. So
that's
yes.
right. Yep. All online. It's our new way of staying in touch.
Yep, it is.
It's all good. It's all good.
So we want to be there for you, and we all are trying to support each other. So that's what all these things are about. And and having the respite with just being able to connect. So Betty, I'm going to see you next week, because we're going to paint together privately.
Yes, I know we're going to set up a time to do that this coming week. So let's chat offline about getting that on the calendar. But with everybody else who's joining us, we will see you guys. We will see you guys on Saturday the 20th.
11 o'clock her time.
All right. I might be having some issues here with my connection. So
okay. I'll finish up.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So here we are. So that should be fun. All right. That's something to look forward to. I don't know, how much you're doing on Saturdays, but here I'm kind of changing, Saturday's coming a work day, and trying to take a day during the week to become more of a go out day, because everybody pours in to the Jersey Shore now. And it's much more intense than ever, because people can't get out, but they can go to the beach and spread out and be out and feel safe. So, I went out today to try to take a walk, and I couldn't even get a parking space. So that's where we're at. So anyway, and I also want to tell you guys, you're not going to see me a lot next week, because I got a new computer. And I'm going to try to get that up to speed so I can do more, rather than do everything on my little phone and my iPad. So that's a big step for me. So today I thought it might be nice to talk about or to work with crayons, like get our cray cray on. You can work any way that you want. But I'll kind of turn this. Well, first I can hold this up, and then I'll turn it down, and you should be able to see. I have my sketchbook, all right, and we can just chat. I won't be able to see you, but when I get my computer set up, I think I'm going to be able to see you and film at the same time. So that should be neat. So I just got my little sketchbook, and I have some Caran which I really love. They might be backwards to you, but there's other kinds of crayons too. If you guys, that's another thing. All this stuff I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put up a link for the supplies that I use, and these are the woodies. These are Stabilo woodies. They're like a crayon pencil, and they're also water soluble, as are the Neo Color 2 Caran d'Arche. I would call them crayons, but some people call them pastels. Another one that's kind of fun, it's almost like putting lipstick on. That's the consistency of lipstick. Guys, you might not know that, but it doesn't matter. You'll figure it out. And these are these marabous, it's called Marabu, all right? And these are, you can buy them singularly or in sets. And they're kind of neat, because you don't have to sharpen them or anything. They turn up like lipstick, all right? But they have that consistency, but they're also water soluble. I like them for certain things. They almost look like oils on your page if you do a painting or a paper. Um, but they do kind of leave like a little gunky um, boogerettes, for lack of a better word, um, which are fine if you're going to add a little water to them, or I just brush them off. But they have all different colors, really, really pretty, you know, and you can, like I said, you can buy them individually and replace them individually too. So, and you don't need a sharpener, which is a definite plus. Okay, with the woodies, you need a sharpener, and with the Caran d'Arche, you can peel them or sharpen them, but yeah, these kind of just turn up. Okay, so you know, I am also going to be putting with my computer my supply list and a link to where you can get everything. Okay. So yes, there's lots of other things, gelatos, what have you. So I just thought, you know, maybe I would color and talk, and it's not really a lesson. You know, it's not what these are really about. It's just a time that we can get together and, you know, exchange ideas. So I'll go up and down with it. But again, I'm really looking forward to finally getting up on my computer. It took me a long time to get it. I had one a long time ago when I was a graphic designer, but it became obsolete. And I built my whole account on an iPhone 4S. Then I got an iPhone 8. But in the middle of that, somewhere 2 years in to, I did my videos, everything, I got an iPad. But now I'll actually be able to look at 2 pages at once and get used to that. So I'll be able to be able to operate a little bit better and have be able to answer your questions and make art at the same time. So how do I decide on pricing? We're going to have that conversation at another time. It's the way I decide on pricing is I add up, it's almost like a spreadsheet, and I add up all of my, you know, time, my supplies, my overhead. You know, now it's you know, their cost to doing business when it grows. And so I look at that, and then I price them per square inch, depending on, you know, the profit that what it cost me to do it, and the profit that that I built into it. And you know, don't be afraid of making a profit, because you don't need to you don't need to dive into dumpsters, and there's nothing you know, noble about giving your art away. I'm You know, the price of my art continues to go up as, you know, I mean, 1,000 pieces and another 1,000 pieces and another 1,000 pieces. It's valuable. It's valuable. And a lot of work is in collection, and but it's still on a level that, since I'm not in a gallery, I don't have an additional 50% markup on it. But anyway, let's do some coloring. And since you dive into the supplies, yes. Also, let me just say, since you're asking me business questions, you know, don't put a shingle up there too soon. You know, just really practice and get good. And what I mean by good is get really comfortable with your craft, and kind of, you know, allow yourself the freedom to find your lane. Because you know, you can do all kinds of different things and post them. That's really good. And we all like to try, you know, like a lot of outfits on, you know, to decide which one is the one we want to rock. But you know, if you put your stuff out there too soon, and, you know, just say, well, I want to make art and I want to sell art, you're going to have a hard time building. You got to take time to build relationships and to work on your skills. You know, I still take courses. You know, I give courses. I've been teaching for well, it's going on 13 years now. But, you know, I did the CVP program, which I never really get through because I have a full-time business. But I like to keep going back in there to challenge myself. And, you know, there's no shortcuts to that. And yeah, you know, and also, you know, don't be afraid of reading on your own. Get yourself a color wheel and read what they write on the color wheel. I mean, I'm going to be coming out with some courses about color, and I think they're going to be really valuable. I think they're going to be valuable in that it's the way I communicate them, in that it's a way that I believe that artists can understand, you know, and it's not too scientific, but you really need to study that, or, you know, you're going to be making a lot of mud, and mud is fine. You just have to know what to put it next to. So that's a whole other story. But I'm going to talk about that next week at the end of the Zoom, and you know, give you guys first up and in on some of those things. Okay. So anyway, let's do some coloring, shall we? And remember to post to hashtag get your stir cray on. Okay, get your stir cray _ on. All right, so that we can see what you come up with. And if you don't have crayons today, paint. Okay, I just love seeing what you do. You know, I mean, I'm not, you know, I love the encouragement that you give me, but I like to see your work. And, you know, that's the teacher in me. I get excited about what you do. And so please, you know, don't be shy posting to that page, because we're all in this together. We're all in growth mode, and we're really trying to navigate like some pretty unprecedented times. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to just kind of get my crayons out, and I'm going to dabble, and I don't know what I'm going to do, but, you know, I'll let you watch, and then I'll watch the time, and I'll go back up and we'll chat, and, I'll sign off. Okay. Sound like a plan? Give me some love. This is like a plan. Okay. Well, that's what I'm doing. All right. You want to do it with me? Let's go. You got coffee? You got a snack? Like, you know, if your kids are around, set them up, get them some crayons. You know, it's a kid-friendly show here. It's not even a show. It's just my, it is, you know, it's like how you can come over to my house and hang out. Okay. It's like I tell people, if you come over to see me, drop in anytime. If you're coming to see my house, I need 2 weeks. Okay. Enough said. I'm going down. All right. All right. I'm going to hope that you can see this. This is always the challenge. Okay. Now, I think I can leave commenting on if I work here. But if it gets to be too much, I might have to turn the commenting off. So anyway, this is a couple of my, I guess I'll show you some stuff. These aren't all crayon, but these are some sketchbook things. And I'll try to stay above the comments. And yeah, just, you know, I'm goofing around in my sketchbook. Kind of fun. This one I got an issue with. See this thing, like just cutting through the middle? You know, not everybody would mind that, but me, I see it. And I didn't see it at first, but when I look at my work later, sometimes I look at it, you know, like with really objective eyes. This is one I really like. This I did with gouache. This I did when I was filming in North Carolina. I just kind of had to put something on a paper, and it's mostly acrylics. This is, yes, I try different things. I have some books that are exclusively one thing, like exclusively watercolor, exclusively faces, exclusively landscapes. But this one is, you know, whatever. And these are oil sticks. This took forever to dry, but it was kind of fun. Here I'm back to a mix of acrylics with Caran d'Arche on top. Same thing with a lot of these. I like to mix it because it softens the edges, and I like that sort of grungy look, you know, more and more. I've kind of moved out of the really, really meticulous. It's not to say that you're not going to see anything like that show up. You know, each piece, you know, has a life of its own, and I let it speak. But yeah, this one is mostly crayons too. All right. I use them really heavy, and this one is a combination. And then I got some marker on here at the end. The rules are there is no rules for your sketchbook unless you make a rule because there's something specific you want to hone in on, like collage. So now I'm just going to goof around here. Okay. I think I want to work vertical. So I don't know if that works. Yeah, that works. All right. And you guys work too, okay? Let's work together. That'd be fun. I might chat because I'm a chatterbox. But I'm just going to put some lines on to begin with because it's hard to put your lines on top of crayon. So these might be totally obliterated, but some of them might show and stick out at later, or I can color around them. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to cover my whole page. I think I might leave my edges white with this one. That's kind of fun. And I'm going to mostly, I think, use these Caran d'Arche. None of mine are sharp. They're all like this. But, you know, I get real good at working on the edges and stuff. So I'm just going to start coloring and see what happens, okay? I know I've been doing a lot of reds, whites, and blues, and I'm going to continue with that. So maybe I'll work on my blues. When I say reds, whites, and blues, you know, there's a lot of different blues you can use. You can stick to one, or you can use, you know, a variety of them. Same thing with reds, and same thing with whites, you know, titanium white. And, well, let me put my earplugs in so you can hear me better. Whoopsie. Uh-oh. Okay, there you are. I hope you can hear me better. I only use one of my earbuds because the other one, other ear doesn't hear anything. So, okay. So, and then whites, there's usually a variety of whites: titanium white, parchment, buff. They're white, just like white paint. So when you mix them with your paints, and there's also all different blacks, or what might be considered blacks, that's going to affect what you do too. But with crayons, I'm just going to have a fun time. I might get some greens in here too. But I'm not making any rules for this, and you can do whatever you want. All right. I can't see your questions now. So if you talk back and forth, that's good. The problem is, all right, that IG won't let, it's not like before where I can save the live anymore. It just allows me to save it to my photos or to IGTV. And when that happens, it gets rid of all the comments. So if you can't see through the comments right now, you will be able to on the replay, because I can't, and that's why you're not seeing the lives right away. once they regenerate, because IG has changed that. So I have no control over that. I don't have to color inside of these, lines like a coloring book, but uh, it gives me a place to start, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I don't like coloring inside the lines too much. And a lot of times, if I start doing that, I end up not doing that. But I want to see what might look nice next to that. That's a really cool blue, so maybe a warm blue. Maybe a warm blue. See, I press really hard on mine, so I kind of use them more like oils, and I don't wet them a whole lot, but you certainly can make a watercolor painting out of that. And that's entirely up to your aesthetic and what feels right to you. This isn't a formula. We're just coloring together. And that's why I really love to see what you do, because I'm really happy that you guys generally, don't do what I do. You do your thing, and I learn from you. And that is the best. And so does everybody else when we all kind of work on the same kind of a project, but we do our interpretation of it with what we come to the party uh, with, and both internally and externally, and both with the supplies that we have or don't have. We do the best that we can. Regular crayons work really well too. When we did Get Your Cray Cray on, a lot of people did amazing things with regular crayons. They even melted them to blend them. It was nuts. So, I that was such a great thing to be a part of. I absolutely loved it, and never thought that it was going to be a challenge for a lot of people. I just kind of said, I'm going to work with crayons for a while. If you want to, you can, because I'm fried. And that was September. And by September, if you're like really plugging at this, and this is becoming your business, you're tired by then, And so it was like, you know what? I'm tired of trying to come up with the World Series, and I'm boring myself. So I'm just going to use a really simple, like my first love was crayons, And for some reason, it seems like when we do crayons, we don't take it that seriously. Although it's, you can make serious art, and go for it. Especially once you're using things like this. These things are pure pigment, and they're not cheap. And art is art. And whether these are pastels and you call it a painting, this is a painting. So just because, it's a stick of some sort, we still call them paintings because they're pigments. You don't have to watch me. You can, do your own thing. And you can also mix on the page with crayons and learn about mixing and do it on the go, which I really, really like. I like to load up a bag, even though I'm not going out that much. Sometimes I just go out in the car, as I've said, and take my crayons and my sketchbook and, go make art, or just play with color and learn about color. That's valid. Some days you're just not going to feel like it. It just there's things going on and you just don't feel like it. it doesn't make you a bad person. There's other things that are important, and you accomplish those, and you don't have to be one dimensional where it's art, art, and art. I mean, that is like that can get really boring, okay? Because then you got nothing else to talk about except for maybe the weather and the news. The weather's more interesting. The news is it's just freaking volatile. So, and the media, I don't know. They love stirring the pot. So, everybody has to search themselves and look for their blind sides and check yourself before that's what I do. I try to do. I go, okay, what in me is off that needs to be corrected? Because I sure as heck can't start pointing a finger at somebody else and blaming them when there might be blind sides in my own character that might not result in something so tragic. But, gossip. Gossip is like murder, really. Gossip is like character murder. And, I'm a Christian, and the Bible says that gossip is like murder, and it is. Because somebody can get a, good thing, a gossip going on, and destroy people with their tongue. And, that's something, some people are okay with that. If I think that I might have like gossip, immediately I'm like, what the heck am I doing? The heck am I doing? Why should I influence somebody else because I'm having a frustrating thought about another person or a situation that I haven't sussed out yet, and it may have everything to do with my blind sides, and why should I go and take it to somebody else to validate myself and make myself right? So, yeah, that's just my small talk on this. I thought I had a good white in here, but I'm not loaded with everything. I'm not thinking at all now. I'm just talking because I'm talking too much. How y'all doing? I like to spread things with white, but I can spread them better with my white crayon. The woodies I like. I think the woodies mix with everything, and they can make a really great, and you can sharpen them so you can get the point back on them. But you got to get the big fat woody sharpeners. Well, this is fun. You could drag some color into another color. I don't know what I put that in there for. I think I was talking about gossip and it kind of got all brown and nasty. See, your work can be personal without you even noticing it. Sometimes, I don't start out with a plan, but I have internal things that inform me, and so do you. And the thing about artists is it's a really good place to process that stuff without causing, irreparable damage to somebody else. And I've heard my friend Stephen Roach from Makers and Mystics say poetry is his protest. And I've adapted that to say art is my protest. So I don't need to yak a whole lot because what I say is my opinion. And, I don't have it all sussed. And my experience is my experience, and your experience is your experiences, and our experiences form our emotions, but you got to know that emotions lie because we got all kinds of things that block our filters um, because of our scripting as we grew up. And so it's good to have bigger ears and a smaller mouth. How'd that go over? uh, I'll turn this a little bit toward you so you can see what I'm doing. You see that? I'm having fun. You having fun? Have fun. You can do some really nice stuff with crayons. Yeah, I can put a variety of reds in here. But I think maybe what I want to do is I want to just see if I can blend my red, in the red zone and my blues in the blue zone. And then that gives it like, like a deeper quality to it. All right, we're good. We move fast once we get going, don't we? You guys are good. So I'm hoping somebody brings me my coffee up here because I actually had a serious black, but I didn't want to drink it right away because I had a cup of coffee when I woke up. But sometimes, if you don't get a lot of sleep and you drink too much coffee, it doesn't make it better. It makes it worse. But I could really use that serious black about now. Do you think they hear me? I guess I probably don't need it because then I'm like really going to get like mouthy. And I just said, listen and don't talk too much. Oh. But yeah, you can blend and make some really nice colors. You know what I'm looking for? It's not in here. I have to get it out of my pieces. I keep all these pieces. Oh, this shouldn't be in my pieces. This shouldn't be in my pieces. You see how organized I am? But what do I want? I want... See, there's certain ones that are my favorites, and I use them up really quickly. But I'll pull them out. Like this one, I always have little pieces of. It's like a really, really pretty greeny turquoise. I can't tell you the name of it because it's ripped off, but most of the sets will have it in it. Isn't that pretty? But I really like it as an accent color. If I use it too much, it's not special. But if I use it as an accent, it kind of gives me a pop. I don't know why we started calling those things pops. Why do you think we call them pops? Could be a bam. That's nice. Oh, that's nice. And if you drag it through the other colors, it'll give it a variety of tones, and then you can make other blues with it. And then if you go over your orange and stuff, you get like an olive green. I'll do it up here. See that color? See, it looks kind of muddy, but that muddy color looks really nice next to a pure form of this right there. That's nice. That's nice. See, this is the way I talk to my cat. Oh, that's nice. Do you guys have cat talk? Do you guys have pets that you talk to in a different dialect? Pop your eyeballs to see it. Yeah. Are those oil pastels? No, you just got on. These are Caran. They are water soluble. This is backwards. Um, and they're called Neocolor 2, and they are a crayon. They're considered a wax pastel, but they're water soluble. There are plain Neocolors that won't move, and once you put those down, they're going to be more like a wax crayon or wax pastel, but these will turn into a watercolor if you add water to them. I just use them really heavy because I really like, because they're so loaded with pigment, that I like that look. Now, if I want to blend it at the end, I could just get it a little bit wet and all this color will pull. And that's pretty too, you know. Bird and dog talk, I bet. Now, is your bird talk different than your dog talk, Leah? Like, do you have a bird voice? Like you start talking like the pet. uh, all right, I know you do, but you're just a bunch of liars out there. Okay. Now I'm going crazy, see? I'm like off the grid. Oh, let me turn it back down. All right. Yes, you talk to your pets differently. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, my Binky cat, he's they're all original items, like kids. And he loves my husband. And I'm like a cat whisperer, and he doesn't even like me. Oh, he likes to play with me. I'm his playmate. He doesn't play with anybody. He plays with me. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about my hair. I forgot to talk about my hair. Yeah, I got a haircut finally after 3 months. It's a semi-bob. She didn't want to cut out my blue and stuff, so she left some of those long pieces. But it's kind of the same all the way around. Isn't that thrilling? It's thrilling for me, let me tell you. Oh, my hair was like atomic. But anyway, I'm going down and uh yeah, I got 6 minutes. All right, I'm gonna wrap this sort of, and then we'll say goodbye. And how do you start? Do you make any patterns of drawings or just doodle? Well, I just doodle, I rarely do anything the same twice. I just dive in because I just like to make art, and I believe that it's very forgiving. And it's like what I say at the end, but I'll say it now. Remember, it's just paint, nobody dies. Well, I mean, there's crayons, but sometimes I do start. I put some lines in because I will add some of that kind of stuff later, but I'll spray it with a fixative, okay? And then you can even put a clear gesso over it, and then you can add marker to it. That's something that I've discovered since I made Get Your Cray Cray on YouTube. Clear gesso. I used to think, what the heck is this good for? But that's what it's good for, if it's dry enough that it doesn't move this. So it's like you got to fix it and then put clear gesso on it, and then you can put marker on top of it. But I've been working more purely with things lately, so let me just give this one more minute, okay? And then I'll come back up and we'll say goodbye. Okay. Now we'll say until next time. So, what I might show you guys? I might show you what happens when I wet it. All right, like here. See? See? It turns into watercolor. So you can also almost get rid of it. I could take this and make it a little bit lighter and, kind of do a, go over the edges and not, and mix and soften that up. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, but the thing about the Neo colors or any of these crayons is I can go back in and kind of overpower that with the pure pigment. So they're really neat, and I would say, you know, like I'd love to do another Get Your Cray Cray on. You know, spend a month doing that because you can make all kinds of discoveries once you start doing that. I think I might want, I would like the pink, I think, over here, but I don't know where my pink went. But I just want to get myself some color. See, and then you can color over that again, and it's cool. So I can kind of blend that. And then, you know, whenever you mix something like that with a blue, you're going to get a kind of a cool neutral gray. So that sort of will soften things and kind of change the rough and smooth areas up a bit. And sometimes I like to go against the grain, as you guys know. If I have too many curved lines, I like to put some straight lines in. If I have too much pure color, I like to balance it out with some neutrals. So, but this isn't nearly done, but it's so totally forgiving. You got to get in here and you got to try it. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around. I don't actually know which way I like it best. You know, could be this way, could be this way. You know, that's the way I oriented it, but that doesn't mean I might not change it later. Because, like, I can just move this out into the porch and, you know, be good to go. So, and then you can add pencil. Pencil's really good to add with crayon because you can scratch into it and it won't ruin your points. If you use marker and you don't fix it first, just make sure you wipe those points off a whole lot because you're going to get a lot of gunk on there. So anyway, it's really good to see you guys. And, you know, I'm going to end with blessing you guys. The Lord bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you. May he lift up his countenance upon you. That means may he turn his face to you and be gracious to you. That means give you undeserved favor, which God does. And that's really what the cross was all about, that Jesus came here to die in our place. He attracted all the darkness that was ours into himself and took it to the cross. And he rendered death and sin and hatred and all these things that we're experiencing in the human condition dead. And then it was buried. And then that was the resurrection. And it says that by faith alone, we're saved. That means we're redeemed, we're cleansed, we're forgiven. It's not of work so that no one can boast, you know, like, oh, I'm good, I've done this, I've done that, I've done the other thing. You know, it's a gift. It's a gift. And God will never violate our will. And so it's a matter of believing. That takes the Holy Spirit, because it makes no sense in the natural. And just receiving the gift and just saying, you know what, I want to be forgiven and I want to be free and I want to have a new clean slate. And it says that he'll cast your sins as far as the west is from the east. Remember them no more, past, present, and future. It's huge. And has nothing to do with religion, has everything to do with relationship, just like we're talking about relationships to our art, relationships to each other. You know what sells art on here? It's relationship. You know, it's relationship. And that's what God wants. And that act that happened on the cross that we all celebrate on Easter or Christmas was a huge act where totally the only really innocent victim was beaten, made bloody, took the hit for us, carried his own cross, what he made his living with, on his back because he was a carpenter, and didn't back down and laid down, let them put nails in him, stayed up there, and said at the very end, God, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. You know, every one of us has gone their own way. There are ways that seem right to us, but they lead to destruction. And we don't know that until we're in the midst of this destruction. And then we turn around and look at somebody else to blame. But there is a way out. And that's what the cross was all about. And so it says, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever, are you a whosoever? Whosoever will believe on him will not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn it. That's religion. And if you're feeling condemned, I apologize to you. I really do. But that through him, you would be saved, sozoed, made well, made whole, made complete, and be reunited to that thing that seems empty inside of us, which is we never were meant to live apart from the Father. We were made for relationship. God made man, created us in his image, creatively, every color, okay, every tribe, every tongue, every nation, to love us. But he's not going to force us to love him, because that's not love. So that's kind of the gospel in a nutshell. And you know, we can talk more about it, but I'm not here to preach to you, but you know, you got to kind of know this to know me. And I love you guys, and I just pray the best for you, okay? All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.